this over here somewhere. Oh, you're in charge of the screen. Sorry.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Jan Roberto. I'm a National Marketing Director with the Juice Plus Company, and we have many people that are attempting to get on. So we're going to go ahead and get started since we are also recording this. And I just want to welcome you and thank James Ketchum for being on with us this evening. He's the head of the Soundboard team at Edge Theory, which is an official Juice Plus partner. You heard people talk about it at conference. And Edge Theory is a conversation media company that provides content as a service. Edge Theory's goal is nothing short of mapping the entire English language in order to provide content about any topic you can think of. That sounds like a lot. I would love to know how to map the entire English language to provide content. James is one of the founders of Edge Theory and has seen a number of changes in the field of social media over the last 4 years. He's eager to share what he knows about social media so that you and I can feel comfortable growing our business in today's word of mouth network. James also taught middle school for 11 years before joining Edge Theory, so he's very good at making new concepts very understandable. And so I know we are going to learn a lot, and I'm just so excited to take it all in. So thanks so much, James.
Okay. Well, thank y'all for having me. As Jen said, my name is James Ketchum with Edge Theory. We are located in Jackson, Mississippi, so we're just a couple of hours south of the Juice Plus corporate office in Memphis. We've been up there many times to meet with them. So the purpose of tonight's presentation is to give you a little bit of background on how we got here. I want to spend some time talking about Facebook and Twitter particularly, the two big social media platforms, how they are different, how they are unique, and how they can both really help to grow your business in different ways. Then we're going to talk about the Soundboard and what it does and how it helps provide content for you. As Jan said, at Edge Theory, a conversation media company, we built the company because we were hearing from brands large and small across the country that the two main pain points of social media are, I don't know what to say, and I don't have time to do it. And so we have built the Soundboard over the last couple of years to soothe those two pain points. We have big clients. We run everything Match.com does. We have clients like Mayo Clinic and Washington Redskins. We work with local mom and pop owned gift shops. Any and all size kind of business that you can imagine. Everybody is in the same boat in that everybody needs good content to help own that conversation. So the Soundboard is one element of that, and we're going to show you tonight how it can provide that content for you. Then if we do have a little bit of time, which we usually do, I always like to get to talking about Buffer and Hootsuite, which are separate services from ours, but they make your life even easier when you couple it with what the Soundboard provides. So before we get to the meat of it, one little fun thing to throw out, we do have an Apple Watch giveaway. So Jan, we can certainly fudge the numbers here on this. This is an approximate. But you can sign up for the Soundboard through your virtual office. You might have found that link in the past. It's under your personal file folder. If you use that link, it still works. Everything's going to work great. But if you use this particular link and you haven't signed up for the Soundboard yet, I know that there may be some other team names on tonight. This doesn't tie you to Team Difference Makers, but what it does allow us to do is keep track of your attendance to tonight's webinar, and that puts you in a smaller drawing bucket for this Apple Watch giveaway because we have a separate one running for the entire month of February just for all the signups. So keep that in mind. Also, if you signed up for Soundboard in the past and are part of this team in tonight's presentation, then just email me and I'll put all my contact info up at the end, and I'll make sure that your name gets transferred out of the big bucket into this smaller bucket here. So you have a couple of weeks to do that. And for those of y'all who are watching the recording later. So just one other little side note from the past, we at Edge Theory, we actually launched the Soundboard going on 2 years ago, my CEO, Joe Stradinger, launched it from the stage at Anaheim at Spring Conference 2015, but it was the Twitter-only version. And then about going on a year ago, so last spring, we started talking to corporate about their feedback they were getting from the field. And they said, people really like it. They like the Twitter content, but they're also asking for content that they can put on Facebook. And so last spring and summer, we worked with corporate to retool the soundboard. So the version you're going to see tonight is that new version. The Twitter-only version is that program has closed. So as of October 31st, if you were signed up for the original version, you no longer are getting any of that messaging. But tonight's version that you will see launched at Fall Conference this past year in October. And so that you might not have actually heard that yet. We've been doing our best to notify people. But if you're wondering, where did your Twitter messages go? That's what happened. And so tonight, hopefully we can get you back going with some good content. So now let's zoom out from Soundboard a little bit and just think about social media in general. We want to think through these 5 pillars, because in order for the 6th invisible pillar here, which is to grow your business through social media, you've really got to have these other 5 pieces in place. And so as we think through these, I want you to think about us at Edge Theory as an ongoing education resource. Yes, tonight's call is about social media and Soundboard. Yes, Soundboard has a small cost, as you will see, associated with it, very minimal. But we also want you to see us as an ongoing education resource. We have lots and lots of past recordings. We host social media trainings every week. And so we'll get you connected with that, because we want you to understand not only the value of the platforms, the major platforms that are out there, but also to give you that comfort in growing your business on those platforms. So through having good content, one of the things we take very seriously at Edge Theory is Jay Martin's charge to everybody at Fall Conference this year, which was, you need to tell a better, healthy living story. It's not about the brand. It's not about hammering juice plus, juice plus, juice plus all day long. It's about being an authority on the healthy living revolution. That's a great phrase. We also want to provide content around business, family fitness, all those kinds of things, so that it's very natural for you to turn the conversation to the products when appropriate with your audience. But we don't start with the products. We start with the healthy living content. Also, you can see just from this image here, everything is optimized for mobile. So 100% of this can be done through your phone if that's where you live. The third piece of this is we want to think about branding. Like it or not, as a franchise owner, as an independent distributor of product, you are your own brand, okay? And the way that you come across on your social media platforms is your brand. And you do not want to be a juice plus, juice plus, juice plus all day long, kind of information dispensing robot. You want to be yourself. And so as we think about not only the healthy living aspect of it that drives you, but also just how you come across and your passions and other things that you're interested in, be your authentic self. So we want to help you think through that. Then how do you use these tools and all this technology to leverage your audience, your warm market that you already have, that you're sitting on top of on Facebook? If you're not a Twitter user yet, we'll teach you how to do that and explore a market there, and as well as all these other platforms, which leads to, of course, conversation. When you are, thinking about people in your lives who could use Juice Plus products, you're not always going to go to them first with the product. You're going to go to them with, this is how the product has helped me. This is how it's changed my health. And you go to them with this powerful testimony of, how impactful it's been to you and your family. So it's the same kind of approach on social media. How do we get that good conversation, that good content out there to drive the engagement so that the conversation happens naturally? And then, of course, this leads to our final step, which is what we want to be the outcome of all this. But keep in mind, this does not happen automatically. Just like the day you decided to become a Juice Plus rep, you did not have 20 people call you to buy product. When you start making social media posts, you are not going to have your inbox flooded with purchase requests. You've got to think through all of these steps so that the conversations begin to occur and occur naturally, and then this will be the outcome of those things. So in thinking about the biggies that are out there, okay, Facebook and Twitter, let's do a little compare and contrast here. Facebook, if not most of you, all of you are probably on it already, at least as a personal, having a personal page and using it to stay in touch with your network. So of course, Facebook is valuable in connecting you with those people. But if you are like me, your Facebook friend network hasn't changed drastically in a long time. Now, of course, you pick up new friends here and there, but the most amount of change, of course, occurs in your first week or month on the platform. When your old grade school friend network finds you, and your college network, and your job 2 jobs ago, you find an old friend on there, and then all of a sudden you have all these requests come in. But then it kind of settles out. And when you start making these healthy living posts, you're talking to people who already know who you are. So it's not out of line with what they know you to be interested in, but you're probably not prospecting to tons and tons of new business. So in making an analogy, Facebook is the backyard barbecue where friends and friends of friends come. But people don't walk off the street, total strangers, grab a plate and a cold beer and sit down at the backyard barbecue and feel comfortable. Okay, that doesn't happen. Facebook's kind of the same way. Now, you may be one of the few people who go out and start conversations with strangers on Facebook in open groups that are about healthy living or gluten-free recipes. That's a terrific way to prospect. But most of us, again, are just consumers on Facebook, and occasionally you might put something out there. But just like Jay Martin said at conference, you don't use it as Facebook. We use it as face look, and you just see what other people are up to, and then you hop off. So Facebook's the backyard barbecue. Most people say, well, I don't need to be on Twitter because I'm already on Facebook. And I will be the first to admit this, Twitter has a very high learning curve. It's got its own language. It's these little truncated statements. It's weird. It's super fast. You have to, worry about trends, and it's political and all that stuff. Okay, it's true. But if Facebook is the backyard barbecue with your friends, Twitter is the cocktail party where you don't know anybody, but everybody's interesting, and everybody's got something to say, and everybody's got potential connection points. When you make a post on Facebook, unless you intentionally make it totally public, only your friend network sees it. When you make a post on Twitter, when you tweet, yes, your audience sees it, your followers see it, but don't limit the power of Twitter there. And this is where most people's perception of Twitter stops, in that, well, I only have 150 followers, and that's all the only people who see it. Completely not true. Everything that happens on Twitter is completely public. This is why politicians have ruined their careers on Twitter, because they don't understand this concept that everything you do on this platform is completely open, not only to the Twitterverse, but also to the larger
You just froze up.
web. I did. Can you hear me? You got any audio?
I think you're back.
I'm back. Is that even again?
Yeah, it stopped when you said something about politicians on Twitter.
Politicians on Twitter get in trouble because they don't understand it's a public platform. So, okay, so I want to show you an example of this. Okay, so on Facebook, let's hop over here. We're gonna join my friend Ruth. Ruth is a Juice Plus rep. She lives in New Zealand. Okay, so when you're posting good, healthy living content on Twitter, this is a Soundboard post that Ruth created. So when you sign up for a subscription to Soundboard, what we offer is access to content that you don't have to go find. We're trying to soothe that pain point of, I don't have time to post, I don't know what to say. We're providing both of those things. But when you are posting good, healthy living content, look at the kind of conversation that pops up around it. Okay, so here Ruth posted an article about the difference between walking and running. And now you have all of these people talking about this exercising. Okay. And so now Ruth has all these potential connections and conversation points, again, to be that healthy living authority to her audience. Okay. So this is how to do this well. And then as the engagement comes in, as the conversations come in, respond with your perspective. And so what happens is when you are doing this on a frequent basis, folks like Ruth and Jamie Kinsey, who I talk to a lot, who use Soundboard, you might have heard her name. She's one of the brains behind the Healthy Living Revolution and that content that you all are getting. They love being on Soundboard because they don't have to go digging for content. It's just there, and in a few clicks they can post something like this and then have all this attention and engagement pop up around it. You'll notice that none of these conversations turn directly to Juice Plus, but both of those ladies have told me that this kind of stuff makes it so much easier for them to turn the conversation to the product when it's appropriate, because people see that this is the type of thing that they care about, they're interested in, and they're invested in other people's lives. But again, when you make a post like this, who sees it? Only your friend network, which is, again, a good thing. But let's compare that to Twitter. So when you're posting on Twitter, so from a performance perspective, Twitter allows outside systems, outside structures like my own, like Edge Theory, to auto post for their users. Okay, and you're probably familiar with this if you sign up for the original version of Soundboard. If you sign up for a Twitter account and then hook it to the Soundboard, we will tweet for you through your handle to your audience every single day. And that they allow that. Facebook does not allow for auto posting, but I'll show you a way around that in a minute. But what I've done here, I'm on Twitter and I've created a search for #healthy. So if you're unfamiliar with how a hashtag works, think of a hashtag as a conversation cataloging tool or a conversation unifying tool. And so what happens is when you are using hashtags well, and you are using popular hashtags that are part of larger conversations, exercise, family fitness, whole food, natural food, good food choices, things like that, what happens is when you make a post, yes, your followers see it, but so does everybody else on Twitter who's searching for that particular hashtag. Okay, so here's Ethel. Ethel's a Soundboard subscriber. This is a Soundboard tweet. Nice looking image here. Ethel got a retweet, so she's got a potential connection. Ethel has 450 followers. Okay, so from some perspectives, that would be a smaller account on Twitter. Of course, we can't all be Beyonce with 58 million followers or whatever. But that is where I want you to understand that follower count is completely beside the point on Twitter, because again, Soundboard will do this for you, but when you're tweeting the right way and you're using these popular hashtags, what you have to say, what Ethel has to say with her 450 followers is just as valid as anybody else. Okay, so Natalia has 100 followers. This is also a Soundboard tweet. Health Ranger has 111,000 followers. Okay, it doesn't matter, because what Natalia has to say about #healthy to her 107 followers is just as valid or valuable to the healthy living conversation as Health Ranger with his 111,000 followers. So this is where Twitter becomes a completely flat platform. So yes, you need to think of it in terms of social media like Facebook, in that your follower base is kind of your root. Just like on Facebook, you have this friend network, but it's again, I think of it almost as a content distribution platform apart from being a social media platform, because it is so flat. Twitter's a real democracy here. It doesn't matter how many followers you have. So if we kept scrolling, we could find stuff from, they've got 10,000 followers. We could find something, I'm sure, from, here's Whole Foods right here, almost 5 million followers. So don't get buried in that thought that I have to have, thousands and thousands and thousands of followers to be effective on this platform. You don't. The other thing about it is this, and I scrolled and looked for it, but I couldn't find an example of it. A lot of the tweets that we create for you on Soundboard, not all of them, perfect example here, Ethel, you'll notice there's no link in the tweet. And Natalia here, this is actually a link to an article. But a lot of times we tweet out the link to your Juice Plus site, okay, or whatever site you give us to tweet out when you create your account. Why do I mention this? Because this is the other aspect of Twitter that people are less familiar with. Every tweet that goes out has its own unique web address, its own unique URL, okay? So think about, since Twitter is completely open to the rest of the internet, think of every tweet that is published as its own mini web page or its own micro blog. And Google loves fresh content, okay? So if you are tweeting out on a conversational basis on a regular pattern, which is again what Soundboard does for you, and you're tweeting out a link over and over in a non-spammy way, which Soundboard does not do that. Soundboard does create good, authentic content, not spammy. What happens is somebody on Google who has no interest on being Twitter, Mr. Bojangles, couldn't care less about Twitter. He thinks it's stupid, but he's searching on Google, is going to be able to not only see your tweets when he creates a search, because when Google goes and makes a search, we all know it goes out and finds, web links. But it also scrapes all of Twitter. Google and Twitter have an official marriage. And Google's constantly indexing what Twitter is pumping out. So if you are tweeting out a link frequently, your link can show up in somebody's search results based on your actions on Twitter, regardless of whether or not the searcher even has a Twitter account. Okay, so it's a very, again, think content distribution platform. Very, very powerful. It's a great place to be. If you don't have a Twitter account and you want one, the Soundboard will help you create one, and you can get started on that. Very powerful. So in thinking about now, what can the Soundboard do for you? Okay, so the Soundboard is, again, built to provide social media content for you. We're trying to help meet that pain point. You don't know what to say. You don't know where to find it. You don't have time to do it. All right, so again, content through Twitter is automated. We can tweet for you through your handle to your audience and to the Twitter platform and to the larger, social media universe and the web automatically for you. All these other platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Pinterest, Google+, Instagram, I'm leaving one out. None of those platforms allow auto posting, but it does allow you to pick content from other places and hit a button to post. Okay, so let's do that now. Let's go to, we're at this site that you keep seeing on every slide, difference.juiceplus.vip. Notice there's no www and no .com. And we have this nice welcome here, welcome team difference makers. So if you, you can, of course, take the time. I'm not going to scroll through the whole thing and read every bit of it, but we have lots and lots of information about how it works. We have lots of help videos. We have a whole help section here, which I'll get into in a little bit. But if you're interested in creating an account, okay, let me just walk you through real quick what we offer, and you can make your decision. Every plan comes with a 10-day free trial, which you can, there's no obligation to stay, it's a month-to-month kind of thing. So for $5 a month, if you just want Twitter content automated for you, this is $5 a month. We're going to tweet for you at least twice a day, good-looking stuff like you just saw, good-looking images. We're going to be tweeting out links to your specific Juice Plus site on a frequent basis. You're also going to get access to ongoing social media training if you're interested in it. And if you were signed up for the original version of the Soundboard, which was the pilot program that corporate launched, this is kind of replacing that. This is what most people choose to do, one of these two plans, because it gives everybody access to this on-demand content, articles, images, videos that you can pick from and post when you want across these platforms and several others. If you just want that, this is the $10 a month. If you want access to that content, you choose when it goes out, you choose what platforms it goes out on, and you want us to tweet for you automatically every day, this is the $15 plan. So whichever you choose, you hit try it now. And of course, we need to get a little information from you. So we need your name and a good email. And I do this all the time, so I have to make a new one every time so it won't kick me out. All right, and then this is where it says your website. So this is where you can put in your Juice Plus site if you have one, or if you're one of these folks that is building your own brand and Juice Plus is a part of a larger offering, then by all means give us that. Oops. Whatever you want, tweet it out. Even if it's just your Facebook page, whatever, we'll do it. And then give yourself a password, and it brings you back here. Now, this is where you can pick monthly or annual. If you choose an annual plan, again, everything 10-day free trial, but an annual plan will give you 2 months for free. So multiply all these times 10 instead of times 12. And the other thing is, with your annual subscription, if you choose that, you'll get 30-minute free separate one-on-one training with me or somebody on my team to help you. If you're a social media ninja, we will teach you the in-depths of Hootsuite Analytics. If you are just beginning, we will help you get all of your ducks in a row to feel comfortable using all this stuff, okay? So if you click on annual, it tries to prorate it per month, but I just want to be very clear that with the annual, it will charge you the whole amount after your 10-day free trial up front. But again, that's 2 free months if you do it like that. So whatever you choose, you hit subscribe, and this button's going to come up. This box is going to pop up for a card number. So I'm going to pause my share so that my credit card does not end up on YouTube. Neither me nor my wife would enjoy the outcome of that. All right, so we're going to hit pay, and then this brings us right back to the soundboard. And there's one more thing you have to do. Notice there's a nice big button here that says add your Twitter handle. If you pick the $5 or the $15 plan, this is where you add your Twitter handle. If you do not have a Twitter handle, when you hit this button, it will take you to Twitter and let you create one on the spot. So I'm already logged into Twitter, so I'm going to hit this. It's going to hop me over there and right back. It just authorized it like that, and now I'm ready to tweet through that handle. Okay. Now I want to before we go further, take one moment to make a little side note here about Twitter. When you create a Twitter account, if you created one a long time ago and haven't thought about it again, or if you're just creating one right now, there's a couple things you need to know. Thing number one is that this with the @ symbol is actually your Twitter handle name. It also lets you put something else here. But if your name is Joe Smith, I promise you, you will not be able to get Joe Smith as your Twitter handle because it's taken. So Twitter's going to recommend some names for you. Geraldo has a pretty unique name here, so he grabbed his name. But if you have a fairly common name, then you need to be creative about how to get your name and maybe a number rolled in. Okay, this is a good example. She put 04 in here. I don't know if I can find an example of it, but Twitter's going to recommend some names for you that are terrible. Basically, it's your first name followed by like 12 digits. Don't take one of those because nobody's going to remember that. Rebecca, I'm so sorry. If you're on the call, I'm going to pick on you here. Rebecca's Twitter handle is really difficult, okay? I would, if your Twitter handle looks like this, I would recommend that you change it just so that other people can remember it and that you can remember it, okay? Also, when you set up an account, Lauren, if you're on the call, sorry to pick on you. When you set up an account, you are an egg in your icon, which means you have not yet hatched and flown off into the Twitterverse. So please take the time to put a picture here. This is some crazy big, wide, stretched out space for another picture back here. You can also put in a bio here. You have a little bit of space to put in a bio, and you have a space here to put in your web link. I highly encourage you to do all those things. Now, in Lauren's defense, she just joined Twitter this month, so we're not going to pick on her too hard. But do take the time. Let me see, here's a great example. Chloe's got a great picture of herself, something she cares about here, beautiful flowers on this nice big background. She's got a little bit of information about who she is, where she's located, and her Juice Plus site, okay? 2 thumbs up for Chloe. Great job on setting up your profile. And look, she joined this month too. Man, she's putting the other girl to shame. Anyway, the point is, do this so that Twitter knows you're a real person and so that Twitter users know you are a real person. Because if you stay like this and you just are just an egg for the next 6 months, you are not going to build up an account, because people don't follow and engage with eggs because they think you are a fake account or a robot account. Okay, so full side note there on best practice for setting up your account. But again, I'll connect you with lots more training on that kind of stuff at the end of the call. So we're back here at the soundboard. We're ready to sign into our new account, right? So to find this, at any point, you can come back to this site, difference.juiceplus.vip. We got this nice big sign in button at the top. I've already signed in, so I'm going to do this in a different tab here. But this is what the soundboard provides for you. So what you are seeing is a list of content that is updated every day, not always on Saturdays, because I have lots of little children in my house. But it's updated almost every day with fresh content, articles, images that we create in-house, so you can use them however you want. There's no copyright on them, and videos, okay? So what we are trying to do is solve that problem again of I don't know what to say, I don't know what to post. So here you see, let's pick this article, 5 exercises for better posture. All right, so when I click on this article, first thing I see is the title. If you would like to read the whole article, this is a live link, and you can go and do that. Some of us are always strapped for time, so we'll jam there. All right, so now we have an image that goes with it. So just so you know how it works, when Facebook hosts an article, when you pull an article off of something and post it on Facebook, the article on the website has a photo that goes with it. And it is hosting that photo on something called an open graph tag, an OG tag. And so when you pull that article over to Facebook to post it, Facebook talks to that article and says, what's your OG tag? I will use that image. It works 99% of the time. That 1% of the time that it doesn't, it's the website's fault that hosts the article. It's something that we work on very carefully at Soundboard to make sure we pick articles that have healthy OG tags, but very occasionally you might post an article, and you may have done this before on your own on accident, and the image comes across as different. That is just one of those web issues that's out there. Just know that we're working on our end to do everything we can to avoid it, but it does happen occasionally due to webmasters not knowing what they're doing with that. Okay, so now you have this nice big button, share article. Okay, so we've picked our article. Now we're ready to share it. Now we have all these nice buttons down here, and we have a suggested message. Okay, so what our philosophy is, again, at Edge Theory is you don't always post on social media like you should be because you don't know what to say. Okay, the greeting card industry is a $4 billion a year industry because even our loved ones don't know what to say to us on our birthdays, right? So think of this. I'm sure y'all bought Valentine's cards, right? Think of this as the middle of the Hallmark card. This is suggested text to accompany your article post that you can use if you want to. If you don't like it, you hit get new message. Okay, you can keep doing that until you find something you like. Then you hit this button. We're going to share this on Facebook. It's going to auto copy this text for us. We hit share on Facebook. We get this nice pop-up. If you're on your mobile device, it'll launch Facebook for you. You can paste in that text. You can add to this if you want, whatever you want to do, and then you hit post. I'm going to switch this to only me because I do this all day. My friends get tired of it. But we want to post to Facebook, and we're done. So I've talked and slowed down the process, but you can see in 3 clicks, And in 90 seconds, we just had a good looking, healthy living centric article go out through our Facebook, to our Facebook friends. Okay. Now, if you would like to post something, if you run a Facebook business page for your Juice Plus business, you can post this kind of content there as well. So we're going to share article. Again, we have our suggested message. Now we have a different Facebook button here. This one's Facebook for groups. This one is actually a little different in that it allows you to post, of course, to your own timeline, directly to another friend. You can share it in a group that you're a part of. So this is, again, a great prospecting tool. Go out, join an open, healthy living discussion group and post into that group and comment on other people's posts, and you are networking right then. That is powerful. Or you can share on a business page that you manage. So if you have your own business page, and I have a great deal of them for work. All right, so then we can post that. Boom, again, just a handful of clicks. We've got some great looking content going out on our pages, okay? So now you can see, y'all, we add to this every single day since April. So there's a lot of stuff here. There's business-minded stuff. If you want to post on LinkedIn, great practice, a whole different business network there. But so let me walk you through the buttons. Of course, Facebook personal, Facebook for groups, we just saw. If you want to add to what the Soundboard is tweeting for you, you can do that. Or if you just want to tweet on your own, the button's there. LinkedIn, business-minded stuff. If you would like to email directly to your clients or to your customers, if you have email groups set up, I think it's a great practice. Put all your vegan customers in an email group. Put all of your moms with kids in an email group. Send that group an article. Hey, was thinking about you, saw this about picky kids. Have a great day. What a great way to touch a customer on a regular basis. It's not, hey, are you ready to reorder? It's, I'm thinking about you. I'm being proactive. Now, of course, you can post visual stuff on Pinterest. Let me show you that kind of stuff. So we've got a search up here. If you click this, let's search for image. All right, we create all these in-house. We have lots of these meme style healthy living quotes. Pick whatever you want. And then you can share it. Again, you can share it straight to Facebook. You can share it to Pinterest. You can share it wherever you want. I can post it to my healthy living Pinterest board here. There we go. Easy. You can also post it to Facebook through that if you wanted to. If you want to post it to Facebook, a lot of people have said we really like the articles, but we don't always want to just be posting articles. So there you go. Boom. 3 clicks and you're done. So, when you think about this, again, think about this as an easy to access, constantly updated source of content, so you don't have to think about it. You don't have to think about content. Now, this is the part of the presentation where most people say, okay, I really like this. You're telling me you can tweet for me every day and I don't have to think about Twitter. But you are telling me that I have to come here and still think about Facebook every day and post. Well, yes, because Facebook doesn't allow auto posting. But there is a solution. Okay, and here's the solution. Buffer and Hootsuite. Buffer and Hootsuite are both free.com services, and they both have free apps that work really well on your mobile device. What these services allow you to do is they allow you to connect multiple social media channels to one hub, which is sort of convenient. But the killer feature is that they let you schedule stuff out ahead of time when you connect those posts or those profiles. So let's go over to Buffer, and I'm going to show you how this works. We're on buffer.com, and I've clicked the button to show you this, to connect to social network. For free, on Buffer, you can connect one profile per platform, all right? So I always add that distinction because if you want to run a personal profile, Facebook, and a business page that you manage, two different profiles on this one platform, you do have to upgrade to their $10 a month service. It is same kind of thing as Soundboard. It's a monthly thing. But keep in mind, this is a separate cost from Soundboard if you're interested in this, because this is a separate service that we just integrate with. All right. But I have connected my personal Facebook, my personal Twitter, and my personal LinkedIn here for free. All right. Now let me show you how this works with Soundboard. This is where it gets really cool. So we want to pick an article that we're interested in. Okay. 5 steps for overcoming obstacles to healthy living. We want to share this. Now these first 6 buttons, if we push these, it will go out right now on whatever platform we've selected. But this button right here is the buffer square hamburger. So we want to push the buffer hamburger, and it brings up the buffer composer. Okay, so you're looking at a couple of things. You see my Facebook, my Twitter, and my LinkedIn all here. And you can see, you can turn some of these off if you want, depending on what platform you want it to go out on. Now, we're working on this. This is a Buffer issue. Buffer doesn't actually automatically copy this text. So if you want to use the suggested text with Buffer, you just need to copy it from there. But this is what it's going to look like on Facebook, okay? So here's our text to accompany our post. Here's our nice looking image, and here's the link. So this nice little drop down over here allows us to schedule post. So today is the 13th. It is getting past peak Facebook hours where I am in Central Time. So I want this to go out tomorrow morning. So peak Facebook hours, whatever time zone you're in, about 6 to 8 a.m. when everybody wakes up and is addicted to their phones and their coffee and they're staring at their feed. And then 6 to 9 p.m. at night. And it drops off dramatically on the weekends, surprisingly. It's kind of more spread out, but traffic's still down on Saturdays and Sundays. But you want to be at the top of people's feeds in those 2 windows, okay? So I want to schedule this to go out at 6:44 a.m. tomorrow. So I'm going to schedule that. It's going to take a moment to add it to my buffer feed, and then it's going to bring me right back to Soundboard as soon as it does that. So what you can do with Buffer and Soundboard is, if you will take 30 minutes and go through this content, you can schedule out, if you're using the free version of Buffer, you can schedule out up to 10 posts. So if you're doing 2 posts a day in 30 minutes and in about, 40 clicks, you can schedule out 5 days worth of social media content that will go out on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever platforms you've connected. Okay, this is a super powerful thing, because now your time is back in your court and you do not have to think about, what do I post today? What do I say today? It's taken care of. So I know a lot of people on Sunday nights, this is their thing. For 30 minutes, they sit down and they schedule out the week's worth of posts. Then your job after that is to stay on top of your notifications, okay? Sign into your Facebook app, sign into your Twitter app on your mobile device. As these notifications come in, and they will, respond to them. Don't let them just go. You know, when you're on Twitter, look at your notifications. This is where you find out who's liked your stuff, who's followed you, who's retweeted you. And you now have these connection points with people who, especially on Twitter, may not even follow you, probably don't, and they might not ever follow you, but they've reacted to your message. So now you have all these connection points by just taking a few minutes and putting good content out there, okay? So then you can come to your notifications tab and figure out who these people are. Carly is a holistic health coach and nutrition consultant, passionate about inspiring health and educating families. Well, the first nice thing we can do here is follow Carly. She's a Juice Plus rep. We don't need to sell to her. It's still a nice thing to do, to follow her and acknowledge that she liked what we had to say. Geraldo is a celebrity fitness trainer, author of The Real Fountain of Youth, and a TV host of The Healthy Lifestyle with Geraldo. We have just hit gold. Geraldo needs Juice Plus Complete in a bad way, and so does every single one of his fitness celebrity clients, right? 33,000 followers. So what do we do with Geraldo? We definitely are going to follow Geraldo back, and we need to know what Araldo's doing. So we need to tweet at Araldo. I just got to look at this, y'all. We're going to pick on Araldo here. Oh, yeah. Happy Monday from Araldo. This is a gold mine, my friends, right here. All right. So we're going to tweet to Araldo and say, we're working on a fitness schedule. Should we save leg day till Friday or knock it out on Monday? Okay, Araldo is going to eat this up. So we're going to tweet at him, make this connection point. This may go somewhere, it may not, but we have now established a connection with somebody who we would never have established probably on Facebook. And so you can see how when you couple, what the Soundboard has to offer from a content perspective and a great service like Buffer to schedule your content out ahead of time, then you have taken your first step into really putting yourself out there as a bigger brand, growing your business because you are now the authority on healthy living to your audience and to the larger Twitterverse. And you're staying on top of your notifications. And so these conversations are going to start happening. And hopefully you've kind of gotten a taste now of how to use these platforms to converse. One other thing I want to show you real quick. I know we're kind of drawing close on time, but I'm going to switch the share here real quick over to my phone. And I want to show you how one aspect of this works that's so cool, because there is no share to Instagram button on the Soundboard because it doesn't exist in the whole wide world because of the way that Instagram operates. So here's how, if you want to do Instagram on the Soundboard. All right, so we're at the Soundboard. First thing I want to show you real quick is a real cool feature. Let me refresh it here and get to the, I've got a search pulled up. All right, so this button at the bottom in my system tray, the box with the arrow coming out, hit that. And then in the bottom right, you see where it says add to home screen. Anytime you hit that on a website, it will turn the web link into a desktop icon for you on your phone. So please, just for clarity's sake, you do not have to go download an app from the App Store to use the Soundboard. It's just a link. But when you hit this, you can name it whatever you want. The default is links, social media. I'm not going to do it because I've already done it. But when you come to your home screen, you see at the bottom right this white link, this white box that says links. Just hit that, and that'll take you to the Soundboard directly. And it keeps you logged in, and it'll always bring up the freshest content. So now we're going to search for an image. And since there is no share to Instagram button based on how Instagram operates, I'm going to show you the way around that. So remember at the top there where it says control your food choices. That is actually a live link to the image itself where we host it. Now I'm going to tap and hold on the image until this comes up. And we're going to save image, which is going to save it to our camera roll. And we're going to hop over here to Instagram. And I follow a lot of rock and rollers, so who knows what's going to pop up on Instagram here. Well, that's safe. All right. So now we're going to create a post, and the image is right there where we saved it with our camera roll. And now you can do whatever you want to it, create an Instagram post. So this is how you get around Instagram's limitation of not letting you share easily, but it works quite well if you want to put these meme style graphics out, and we're adding new ones all the time to the Soundboard. The other cool feature that's only available on desktop with the Soundboard, is texting. So we think this is another really powerful touch point for your customers. You want to send them something, keep them top of mind. So if you've got somebody, let's say you've got somebody that's gluten-free. Let's search for gluten-free. So here we got a gluten-free recipe to an acai fruit bowl. So let's hit this, You want to share article, and you'll notice now we have this text button. We can text, and that's going to bring up the messaging app. So I'm going to text this to my boss, and we're going to hit go. And so now you have this iMessage now operates like Facebook does with hosting nice looking links. And so I've got this good looking article that I've now texted, and you can say, you know, something like, thinking about you. And what a great connection point you've got with, you know, a customer. Super easy. So if you got 30 customers, once a month, think about, you know, texting them an article just to keep top of mind. Hey, you know, I know what you care about. I care about you. Pretty cool. Okay, this has been tons of information. This is how to find us. This is where to sign up. Soundboard support, you can email us there. We do have a whole, I'll bring this back up in a second, a help section here. When you click on the top 3 lines at the top, if you want to submit an article, if you have a particular passion you want us to know about and host the article, we can do that. The help center here is an ever-growing knowledge base of how, not only how the Soundboard works, but best practices for social media, all kind of good stuff. And then please join us on this Facebook page. We have ongoing social media trainings posted there that we run on an 8-week cycle. We've got past recordings, but it's best practices for Twitter, how to use Twitter analytics, how to use Facebook analytics, how to navigate the world of Facebook now that they've changed their algorithm, all kinds of good stuff. So that's a lot of information. But that is the Soundboard. Hope you join us. Jan, you have any parting thoughts? No questions seem to be coming through the chat.
I don't know if you could still hear me.
Yes.
Okay, because I had to get off for a minute and get back on. So no, I think we've had a good group. I'm glad that we have a recording. If you can get that to me, I'll pass it out through the channels I have. But I really appreciate your time, and I learned a ton. So thank you. Thank you.
Happy to do it. Okay. Well,
Okay.
I will. Oh wait, here comes the chat real quick. Let's see what this is.
One.
Oh, thanks, Lucy. All right, good job. Thanks for joining.
Yep.
Okay. Well, everybody have a happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks so much. We'll be in touch.
Okay.